Hello and welcome. This is the second lesson in a three-part series of exploration basics. Last time we talked about the exploration 101, so what do you hunt for, what can you encounter, what to use skill-wise, ship-wise, module-wise, how to first scan and then hack your sites. This time we're going to be talking about locations, so how to detect others and how to avoid detection. So first of all, we're gonna talk about D-scan, so directional scan, when, how to use it, how can it be utilized to either find people and how to use it defensively, combat scanning using the combat scanner probes, then connecting those two methods to narrow down targets. And in the later part, we're gonna talk about avoiding detection as well. So avoiding D-scan and avoiding combat probes and making their life miserable. So, first of all, about using D-scan. D-scan is one of the most powerful defensive as well as offensive tools to use while you are in space. It allows you to verify if someone is near to you up to 14.3 astronomical units from you. That's why I'm gonna show you right now the D-scan window here. On the screen you can see the icon, of course, the name of the thing you're looking for, type of it, and the distance. If this is something that is unmovable, you will see the distance. If it's someone's ship, you will not see the distance. You can only get to know more or less where that person is, but you will not know exactly where that person is. Why is it so useful and powerful? That is because you can use it when you are cloaked, so someone does not have to know that you are there, that you are cloaked. So you can warp to a spot, scan the whole system using D-scan, know exactly what and where is, and that gives you a big advantage whenever you would be hunting for someone, and you always should start your fights with an advantage. So if you want to use it defensively, you can open up the system window, and when you have these open, it will show you that green orb. If you want to use it defensively, what you want to do is to set your range to 14.3 AU and 360 degrees so that you scan around you and keep scanning whenever you are doing something like exploration in nullsec, wormholes. You will see something that is coming your way immediately when you keep spamming it, and I really mean spamming. If you want to use it offensively, like we used it in one of the fleets recently, whenever you fly through system, you go ahead, start warping, and you keep spamming to see, oh, there is a Noctis around here, right? So then, since it is around us, I will check if it's within 10 AU. No, it's not. It's only 14 AU. So if I know exactly the range that it's at, I can get my angle and either moving my camera or by holding V, because that's the D-scan button, I can go ahead and try to pinpoint by holding V and clicking into different things, as you can see, trying to point my D-scan over there to make sure where exactly you are. If you are in the middle of like 20 signatures, you can just quickly click through them and see where the person you want to catch is. What's the pros of D-scan? You can stay cloaked and nobody needs to know about your position. That's especially true for wormholes where local does not work. So if you are cloaked, they don't know you're there. You can take your time to pinpoint the location of someone without them realizing that you are actually trying to catch them. And this is a great defensive tool. If you keep spamming it, you might find out that someone just uncloaked and is warping to you. There are around somewhere between 0 and 14.3 AU from you, so you can end up warping out and saving your skin. And what are the disadvantages of it? If you pinpoint someone like that Noctis, I showed that it was somewhere here. Well, we don't know if it's the belt, the station, the planet, one of the two moons, or it's at the Caldara Navy Station harbor. You do not know exactly who that person is. You will just get the estimate. And if you do want to catch them and you want to land on them, attack them, scram them, and not allow them to warp off, you will not be able to do so, because whenever you warp to the place where they are, you will be warping at either range or 0, but still they might be 100 or 200 kilometers away from that point. So they might see you and warp off. And of course, this scan, when you want to catch someone, does not work if someone is in a dead space spot. And that's, by dead space spot, I mean something like this. A spot in space that you can make by hitting Ctrl B, B for Bravo, and writing whatever you want. For example, save 1, and hitting submit while you are still in warp. That will make a point in that space that you can come back to. And as you can see, I am at nowhere, middle of nowhere in the system, because this is one of the dead space spots that I am in right now here. So using this scan, nobody can catch me. They can pinpoint that I'm somewhere around this area, but they will not be able to get to me. This is where the combat probes, the second way of finding someone, comes into play. Combat probes allow you to scan a ship, drones, deployables such as mobile depot or mobile tractor unit down, and jump exactly to the location of the person that is that you will scan down. How it works: you get an expanded probe launcher, which is different to the core probe launcher that you use for signatures. You can still use both types of probes in this one. However, the combat probes have way less scanning strength. So if you want to do both types of scanning, you better bring both types of probes with you. So it's very, just in general, combat scanning is very useful, because you can just find an MTU you left behind, drones you left behind, and so on, if you just have a set of probes and an expanded probe launcher and you know where they are. So there are two ways of scanning when it comes to combat scanning. I will first clear all the signatures because they are not really needed for me. So there are two ways to go about this. You either get a pinpoint location, a pinpoint formation, like with regular scanning, and you go ahead and you know that someone is in the belt, you scan that belt. Or if you just want to see more or less what's in the system, you go with the spread formation at 16 AU, which, as you can see, will cover all of the system, nearly all of the system, because as you can see, the gate here is very, very low. So we'll scan the system. As you can see, I can see a citadel, someone's control tower, projectile sentry, which are sentries to the control towers, someone's star bases, and all that stuff that we don't really want. So first thing when you just cast a very wide net is to get rid of stuff you don't really want. And we have 3 deployables. So then once you know more or less what you want to get, let's try to get this deployable. So we'll once more center, pinpoint location, and as with previous lessons, just start scanning. As you can see, we have 3 deployables here, and right now we're down to 2, because unlike signatures, if you didn't combat scan something, it disappears from the map. You need to catch it again, basically. And now we have a mobile depot. So let's try to actually get this one. We keep scanning till we get the thing. And since we scanned it, well, we are going to warp to it. So you can do the same with ships, of course. So if you want to find someone, you can do the same and warp exactly to the spot they are at, unless you scan someone in a gated site that has several gates, several pockets. Then you will just land at the first pocket and would have to chase them through the whole site. And this is the mobile depot that we found, belonging to a random Eve player. This is especially effective if someone is fitting in a dead space spot, which you can pinpoint by D-scan, but cannot warp to it. That's where all your probes come into play, and you end up being able to scan them down. If they don't warp, don't realize that you are scanning them down, you just get them, catch them, and you end up blowing them up. So, to sum up, pros of using combat probes is that it makes finding lost property possible. In some heavily mined areas, it might even be possible to find some good drones behind, or an MTU to shoot if you're into that. But watch out, shooting MTUs or mobile depots does make you a suspect, so people might warp back to it and hunt you down. It also allows you to drop exactly on the person that you just scanned down. And the cons, if someone watches their D-scan, so they keep checking D-scan, as you can see Sister's combat scanner probes on the D-scan, meaning that if they see that, they are aware that you're trying to scan them down, and they will most probably warp off. So you have to be quick about it. And small ships, as well as ones with certain modules, can defend against combat scanning. And I wanted to show you that. That's why I have an ult in a dead space spot right now. So I will go exactly to that spot and try to scan it right now, just to show you how that defense might work. So right now, what I'm scanning for is a Tristan ship, which is not defending itself at all. And wait a moment. Yeah, it is at the spot. I just probably made a bad scan. Let's try to catch the ship. It should be here. What is going on? Let's try again. Oh, right. I kind of screwed up. I ignored this result before. So yeah, this is my Tristan. It's sitting here. I could warp to on top of it, right? But right now, this Tristan will fire up 3 modules. And those modules are sensor boosters. Sensor boosters with ECCM script. That increases your resistance to being ECM'd. As you can see, I dropped from a full scan to 61.2%. And honestly, even if I try, I probably won't be able to scan this ship anymore. So with just one simple module, you can make life of someone who is trying to catch you miserable, especially if you want to basically waste their time. So if someone sees your probes, or they are prepared, you need to make more sneaky approach in order to catch them. How do you do that? You do that by combining both D-scan and then combat probes. First, you get into a system, cloak up, if you can, find someone on D-scan, make sure that you know more or less where they are, then either drop probes, center it, go to 0.5 AU, drag them down to a single spot like this. You can do it by holding control, then the arrows that allow you to drag your probes show up, and you just do your one scan. Other possibility would be, since this ship is over here, I could warp somewhere else. I could warp to a spot that is outside of the range of that person, drop the probes there, because they stay physically there. No matter where I put this little thing, they will still be here. If I drop them over here, I drag them over, I prepare the thing, I start warping, scan, and drop immediately on that person. So that is the possibility for you to actually try finding someone in space, be it in high sec, low sec, null sec, or wormholes. This basically is useful everywhere in the game. Okay, that's the part about the finding people, and in the next part we are going to talk about avoiding D-scan and avoiding combat probes.